Hey everyone, Luke here, and yep, we're finally caught up with Witch Watch now. Got all three chapters done in one go. Record for me. Now, after this week, like Sunday, I will be doing I will be doing that. It'll probably be another double one once I get time in the next, because next week I'm going away. I'm going away on holiday with friends, doing another canal boat trip. So really excited for that. Doing it with friends, like I said, doing it with friends this time and not family. So this will be a new experience for me. I've never organised a holiday by myself. So like this is my first one. I'm 35. This is my first time organised a holiday, planned it out for everyone by myself, with others actually being invited on it. So yeah, really excited, really looking forward to that, and I'm going to be the skipper on it because I'm the one the most experienced. All the ones that are coming with me on this canal boat trip are newbies, so it's a new thing for them. Really happy that I'm going to be able to go and experience that with them. But anyway, let's wrap this up with chapter 250, titled Bone Crisis Part 90. So we get a recap of the rules that I did not read. So yeah, each player picks one card from 1 to 7 and flips it face up at the same time. Whenever a team, whichever card is lower becomes the team card. So like, say Bam picked 4 and Miyu picked 5. 4 would be their number, and vice versa. That's like why I was getting confused. Like why was it a draw in the first round? Because Banner picked 7, whereas Miyu picked 2. So that's why it became a draw, because all the others picked 2. And teammates are not allowed to discuss strategy. The key to victory are reading the opponent and communicating wordlessly with your teammates. So yeah, this is like picking up on the fact, like, obviously Maverick and Kikiryo are reading minds. Like, they're reading the minds of each other, and they're reading the mind of Mirio. So they're not communicating verbally, they're communicating mentally. That's why Gambit's not picking up here. It's like, oh, because they're not speaking there, and Gambit probably can't figure out, like, oh, they're obviously reading their minds and they're cheating at that point. That's the idea that I'm getting at here, because they're going on about, like, oh, reading your opponent and communicating wordlessly, and we've had most of the chapters talking about, like, basically it's being in a dialogue. So yeah, they're obviously reading Mirio's mind and reading each other's mind. Like, okay, Mirio's going to put down a 4. We need to put down a 4. And Ban's going to put down a 7. Like, we need to pick down something, like, because then we're obviously going to draw there. So yeah, Gambit says, "Oh, choose your third card." As Mirio says, like, round 3 already. What card do I pick? As an earthquake starts to happen, and everyone's just there, like, wait, what's going on here? And this is something even Kikiryo and Maverick were unprepared for. As Maverick starts to ask Gambit, like, hey, are we going to move to a safer location? Are we going to be here? Like, maybe we should move out of the way so that we don't get distracted by this happening. And Gambit's there, like, nope. Science, we're all going to do it here. Even if they all fall into the water, they're still going to be playing this game. Or I guess because they're in a barrier, like, the barrier will protect them and they'll just be floating, even if the ship are just sunk to the bottom of the ocean. So yeah, Mirio says, like, is it just the seas choppy, or is everyone okay? And I hope everyone's okay. As Gambit demands, like, oh, choose your third card. So Mirio goes, like, okay, round 1 was a draw. We lost round 2. We can't afford to lose another round. We must win this round. Trying to read what Ban is thinking is just an exercise in frustration. I won't bother anymore. So what do I do? Since Ban wasted her 7, me hanging on to mine is pointless. Maybe I'll use it here and pray that Ban somehow picks a winning card. So yeah, he takes a gamble, but given that he's working with Ban here, like, we know that what's going to happen here, as Mirio reveals, like, a 7. Yeah, because this has been like a recurring theme, So like, he's picked a 7, and it's always been him first to. Let me go back and have a quick look at the earlier chapter. At the earlier one. So yeah, chapter 204. So yeah, we get the start of the game in 248. Yeah, so 249. So yeah, yeah, it's always been Mirio that's always been the one to reveal his card first. So, and I'm surprised he's not picked up on that. Like, no, you guys reveal your cards first before I reveal my card. Like, that's how we're gonna do it at this point. Like, I'm surprised he's not called them out on that front. So yeah, as they reveal their cards, so yeah, the same cards third time in a row, they have to be up to something, but a 3 isn't too high a number. If Ban used a 4 higher, we'd win. So Mirio has more confident in Ban, but of course, Ban being Ban picks number 2, and Mirio's there like, are you kidding me, Ban? 2? You had all those other numbers, and yet you picked 2? Are you serious? Like, why the heck did you pick it? Why did you pick 4? Why did you pick 5? Why did you pick 6? Why did you go for 2? As Ban says, yeah, I don't get this stupid game at all. I'm so confused. I don't know what's the right card to pick. And since I don't know, I just close my... So she basically just closed her eyes, picked a random number. It's like, no! Like, work it out here. Work it out here, Ban. It's not that complicated of a game. But then again, I'm the guy who couldn't figure out the rules right away, so I'm one to talk. I'm one to talk as well. So once again, because Team Warlock won, Team Witch has to take the penalty, and since we're in round 3, one of them is going to lose 3 medals, and of course it's Ban because she's the one that lost it for them. So now Ban is down to 1 medal. So one more loss on their part, and they could be totally screwed. Ban could literally be putting her life on the line at this point. And Mio now is like trying to figure out, like, okay, what the hell is going on here? They both picked the same number at the same time, like, probably obviously to indicate that there might be a draw each time of some way. And he's trying to figure out, like, did she time the card order ahead of time? But before he has his doubts, because you would have to make too many strategy adjustments between rounds. Then is she using eye contact or some kind of signal to tell him which card each time that they're actually going to use, even though Gambit is actually watching? Don't flip that around. As long as Gambit doesn't notice, doesn't that mean they can get away with anything? But I think Gambit like knows all, sees all, but she can't hear all. So I feel like Gambit can't hear what's going on in their minds here. Like Kikira said, like, okay, we're going to put a spell where we can read each other's minds here, and we can read his mind, and that's how we're going to get our distinctive edge. Even though the rules are going to be fair across all players, we're going to have like a cheating mechanism in this case. So he goes on and Mirio goes on and says, no, wait, wasting time thinking about it isn't going to help me. We have 2 rounds left before we're dead. I have to find some way to win. And yeah, he's panicking at this point, like all different scenarios are going through his head, and it's not helped because of what Ban has been doing throughout the entire game. And does he try to sync up with his teammates somehow? And yeah, at this point he's berating Ban because she's like, oh, being that stupid dragon and everything, like she's the one who's made this even more difficult than it could have been. Before he starts thinking about like her teammates, Nemra was supposed to be around, but she disappeared when I wasn't looking. Still, if I had my Durafel, Mojito would be the teammate I'd want now. Him or Momo, actually, she'd be bolder than you'd think. And yeah, but right now none of this helps. Right now he's got to focus. He's got to focus on the strategy. Got to focus on the game in front of him, because he can't afford to lose next round. And given what's going to happen at the end of the next chapter, I think the game is actually going to be reset to include more players, as we'll soon see. But he goes on and says, guys, I hope you're all okay, before we finally cut away from what we've had for the last couple of chapters, where it's just been Mirio, Kikirio, Maverick and Ban's game, and we're now coming back to Dory, the manager, Khan and Momo, where Dory's like recreational form has taken on like a giant Goliath Titan monstrosity with like four arms, just ready to smash down on Momo and Khan, but Khan is not having any of it. And it's nice that we finally get back into some action. Much as I've loved the strategy in the card game, it was a bit dialogue heavy centric, and now we're finally getting back in more interaction, as we see the giant dory monster thing just crash into the deck of the ship. Khan leaps up, starts riding himself on top the giant. So like he jumps up in the air, takes a devastating blow from the giant, falls back, grabs his composure, literally starts running up the giant's arm. The manager starts. The manager has actually merged with the dory monster at this point, but he's getting his weapon ready, and yeah, even though Khan is being really confident, really stoic and determined here, he's still getting his ass handed to him at this point. So after the dory giant monstrosity concludes its attack, you get to see like the full scale of it. Even though we got it more so than before, like we see like Khan is not even like the size of the creature's foot. Like he's halfway down that, and yeah, it's very crazy just how big this monstrosity is that's happened. As the manager goes on and says, you're a bug, you can't do anything. And yeah, Khan might actually just be might as well just be a bug at this point, because yeah, he's like this tiny little insect that the dory monster could just squash at any moment, as he's just like, that's it, lie down, I'll swat you and put you into. And yeah, he could basically be squashed at this point, because he's basically knackered. He's been thrown about, being around as well. He's still been stabbed from the early attacks, as Momo starts to bawl eyes off, like, I'm sorry, I don't have the reserve to help. Everyone else is still fine, but I can't help. And Khan at this point is very much ready to just give up on everything, because like I said, taking a beating, like he is battered to shit here on the verge of death, just staring down. So he's on the ground like that, just like with this giant monstrosity just towering over him. It's like attacking the monster does nothing. The warlock's sitting all the way at the top of its head, controlling the bug, controlling this big puppet. Clearly ain't easy for her. I bet that's why she's merged with the thing, so she can focus on moving it directly. So yeah, got an interesting like weakness to the manager. Like, even though she can control puppets, if they get too giant to her, she could lose control of them. That's kind of an interesting detail that we've learned here. She's the big weak point. No two ways about it. But crap, so she's too far up that she can't reach it. And yeah, even though she's like the weak point, she's like at the tip, like, and she's very, and it's going to be very difficult for anyone to even reach her, because like, even if Khan got to the top, like, he could just be whacked away like that. Hence why he can't reach her, and no handy trees for him to climb, no access to Nico's magic, and Mochi can't move my mass even a millimeter anymore. Heck, I've even lost my Shakichido staff somewhere, so he's lost his staff. So he's basically like, because I've just recently wrapped up doing a rewatch of Wild Force on the Chaos Squared channel with Richmond, FIFA RPG, Nora Wargrim, and all of them great guys and everything. But yeah, it's basically like when the Rangers are just like completely powerless in the Sphere Realms going up against giant Master Orc. This is basically what that is. So continuing on, Khan goes into a bit of like a flashback memory whilst also thinking about what's going on here. As he says, I don't see much around here where you can climb up. You're a Tengu, right? Can't you fly? Present day Tengu's wings are physical at best. We can't fly no more. So yeah, showcasing like the weaknesses of Tengus in this day, and he's resigned himself to die at this point because of the fact that this is it. I'd say I'd give it a good shot for me at least. I was born a Tengu, hated training though. I was the spoiled only child. Doing stuff for others wasn't really my thing, which is kind of interesting considering where he's headed up here. Literally putting his life on the line for his friends, despite the fact of where he came from, like being the spoiled only child of a Tengu, hating training and hating doing things for others. The fact that he's gone from that to putting his life on the line and risking his life just to save his friends and everything, showcases how far he's actually come as a character. But look at me now. I've got friends who are like family to me. I'm putting my life on the line, sticking my duty out to protect Nico. It's all because of you, Morito. Clashing with you every day when we want to step up, get stronger. So really showcases it as well, the influence that Morihito has had on him and everyone else in the series, which makes it even more apparent that they have to get Morihito out of that cocoon with Shikimiya as quickly as possible, because whatever Shikimiya has been doing to Morihito in that cocoon, I doubt it could be pretty, because it'll be pretty weird if Shikimi hasn't taken advantage of this situation. But yeah, even though he's got this confidence and it's like, oh, I've gone from being this spoiled brat to being someone who can put my life on the line for my friends, it looks as though it's as high as he can go, because there are things Flox just can't reach no matter how hard they try. As he sees like the giant Muhammad monstrosity doorway monster thing getting ready to punch him with two of the four arms that he has. So like, that's not gonna be pretty for him, as he says, oh, this is the end of the line for Tengu who lose their wings, before he gets inspiration from his father saying, don't ever give up, even you hit a dead end, don't you ever give up, you hear. If they seal you in a cave, stay calm, figure out the way that the air currents are moving. And this way goes back into a flashback within a flashback of his childhood, where he's having this conversation of his old man, where he's like, oh, I'm giving up here, and he's like, no, don't give up, and the memories are actually coming back to him as Calton says, like, what if there aren't any? And as far as like, then find a sturdy stick, dig your way out. And then this is where Khan is just bawling his eyes out, like, oh, but what if the stick breaks? And he's going like, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? What if that happens? As he just like, I can't think of anything in this situation. I've been beaten about the bush. I'm basically on death's door at this point, and this next attack is essentially going to kill me. So what do I do in this situation, Dad? Can you tell me that before he gets another flash of inspiration of like, don't let that break your spirit, don't give up, maybe a ball will come along and run into the mouth of the cave, maybe that will give you a crack you can use to get out of it. And sure enough, as he does this, and as the monster like literally crashes down, smashes through the floor, we hear the phrase, an unbreakable spirit. That's the only thing you need, as we see him and Momo, and potentially even the manager and the doorway monster crash down into where the game is actually taking place. And it seems to be like the attack from above, that coming down from the ceiling of the casino down into the casino, caused by the doorway monster and Khan and Mo. Like, that seems to have like cancelled out the game, because we can't see Gambit here. So it seems like this attack has basically cancelled it out, and I feel like there's going to be like repercussions here. Like, wait a second, like, you guys were cheating, you guys were reading each other's minds. But yeah, this is where the chapter actually ends, with the phrase to find a way forward, as everyone like culminates. So this is why I feel like the game of the card game of life and death is going to be wrapping up in the next chapter, in Bow Crisis Part 20. Because of the fact that, or it might not actually be wrapping up, it might actually carry on, and they might actually reintroduce new players into the mix, where Khan could be used. Like, okay, can we swap players here? Can we reset the game, swap players here, and have a fresh state? And this is where I feel like that it's going to be probably like because obviously these two were cheating, we have to restart the game, we have to get everything back balanced. If Gambit is still there, and maybe the cracks have shown, like, oh, they've obviously been reading our minds, so they've obviously been cheating, they've not been playing fair, so we have to restart the game. And maybe Mirio will bring in Khan as like the replacement for Ban, and Momo can actually comfort Ban as like, oh, you just stole, like, you did what you could, and yeah, you were stupid at the game, but at least you are alive, and that's all that matters. So yeah, that's probably what I think is going to happen in the next chapter. Like, the game of cards is going to be reset, and we're going to have a more fair balanced game where they obviously can't read their minds anymore. So they're going to have to really think about the strategy that is going to have to take place. So yeah, really good, interesting chapters here, setting up like the game of life and death and seeing how tense it is, and seeing like the banter going on between Mirio and Ban, and also this chapter where it's like Carl basically resigns himself to his fate, only for fate to have other ideas, and getting him thrust into the game between Ban, Maverick, Kikirio, and Mirio. I'll be interested to see where we go from here. How the next chapter, Bone Crisis Part 20, is going to pick up and address some of these things that Mirio has had, and potentially a lot of the audience, not just me, have had. Like, have they been reading the minds? Have Maverick and Kikirio been reading the minds of each other and been reading the minds of me? And that is not fair. That is cheating, and we need to reset this game. But that's for next time. So anyway, guys, what did you think of this chapter? And like I said, what did you think of the 3 chapters in general? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. And this will be Lasherluke signing off. Later, guys.